How to break the cycle of toxic love addiction. I've been working with a client who was really emotionally addicted to a very abusive ex-partner. And so I've been diving deep into what you can do if you're addicted to a toxic partner specifically. I have another video where I go into the basics, why emotional addiction is created. I'll link it below, you can check it out there. But in this video, I want to talk about how you can break that toxic addiction to someone that's really unhealthy for you. All right. So the first step is to understand that you are emotionally addicted. So how you can feel that is, first of all, if you're really honest with yourself, you consciously know that that person is not good for you. They don't treat you well, and that actually the relationship is just doomed to fail. But another part of you just wants it so bad and then ignores all these red flags. And if you basically feel like you just can't help yourself, although you consciously know that this is bad for you, you do it anyway. That's emotional addiction. And understanding that and being honest with yourself, being honest to a friend, is really the first and maybe most important step. Secondly, really important thing is to understand, what is your secret underlying hope? What is that part of you that knows that this is not good for you and does it anyway? What is it hoping to get? So my client that I was working with, as I shared in this other video, she was with a guy who was really emotionally abusive and at some point even threatened to kill her. Her secret hope was that she would create the connected family life that she never had in her own childhood. And so she was clinging onto this guy because she had 2 kids with him, and she felt always very disconnected to her own mother. And so she felt lost in her childhood. So she wanted it to work with him so bad because she just, for once, wanted to feel that she is belonging, she's part of something. And so she was enduring all this because she convinced herself, or that part who was holding on convinced herself, that through him she would get this perfect family life that she never had. And so by understanding and realizing this, it will help you, because often when we talk about it, another part of us comes online and is like, but dude, is that anyhow realistic? And she realized, no, it absolutely will never ever happen, because she knows this man for like 14 years and he never changed. He didn't develop, right? So really the likelihood of him ever changing is just 0.1% or something. And that helped her, right? So understand the underlying hope. And so you can really think about if that's anyhow realistic. Third, you have to go cold turkey. In my experience, that's the only way you can do it, because her pattern, literally, even after she was strong enough to separate from him for 4 years, she would again and again call him when there was something with the kids, and he would make her feel so bad, even just in a 2-minute conversation. And she did this for years and years and years, right? They are already separated, but still, whenever she just calls with him, she feels so bad, but she can't make herself stop. So when I worked with her, I said to her, okay, that's it, no more. You have to go cold turkey and just don't contact him anymore. And her solution was to only talk about things about the kids via email, and that's it. And that helped her, first of all, not to have the same bad experience that she actually wanted to, that's why she broke off, to not have that again, but also that she could lower this feeling of addiction. And she was able to do that. And another tool was, for example, that she always gave herself a reward when she wanted to reach out but didn't do it. And of course, because she was working with me, I was giving her a lot of positive energy, right? Like celebrating with her when she would do 1 month or 2 months of not contacting with him, and just being her accountability buddy and having a positive relationship in her life, right? That was cheering her on. that really help to go cold turkey. Then the fourth step is to consciously pull people and experiences in your life that fulfill the hope, the underlying need, right, that you would love to get from that person. Because part of this addiction is that you think and you convince yourself that you can only get that from them, which is of course stupid. Sorry, not stupid, but it's like, it's not very clever, because and it's not very effective because you're not getting it from them anyways, but there's probably a lot of people outside of you that you could get it from. So in her case, it was doing more with friends and really looking for those people that would genuinely like her and be fun and just gave her that feeling of easy belonging that she was looking for, right? Then in her case, it was also very good to work with a professional, because the relationship between the professional and the client also, not just what you're saying or the tools that you're using, but just a relationship is that positive experience that many never had, right? So even that in itself helped her to get this need of belonging, of being accepted, of feeling like, wow, I can actually be myself and I am liked. That's what she was missing in child. So you have to try to consciously get that thing, because it's like with any addiction, right? Like what's behind an alcoholic? It's mostly someone who is very, very socially insecure, right? So if they learn how to get their social needs met without being drunk, they don't want to be drunk anymore. So that's the same with emotional addiction. So understand what it is you're craving for and try to consciously pull it into your life. Exactly. And then on a fifth level is to really confront yourself with the reality of that person, and not sort of like the sanitized version that you're telling yourself. And really, because what I've found is that people that are emotionally addicted, they avoid that. They sort of like focus on the positive sides of that person, which, they do have, of course, right? But they never actually really want to admit it, even to their friends, because then when they go back, they feel ridiculous, which is totally understandable. But if you want to really break the addiction, you have to confront yourself with the truth. And the best is for that is to write it down, like literally. Make a list of all the terrible traits that person had. Write an essay, like a letter to yourself. And when you want to go back again, read that letter, like confront yourself. If you have a really clear moment, record a video of yourself and then force yourself to watch that video before you go back, right? You have to be like, this is literally what I'm doing to myself, right? This is the reality. And this can often be the last thing that really breaks it, because often through this feeling of injustice, unfairness, and anger, even to yourself, right? Like, why am I doing this? This can be the fueling fire to break the addiction. So I hope that this video helped you. And one last bonus point, of course, it's always helpful to use physical emotional regulation skills to get out of addictions. Like my husband literally stopped smoking through taking cold showers. So things like really intense physical sports, workout, weightlifting, running, swimming, of course also going traveling, just removing yourselves and going in a totally different space, cold showering, and doing a challenge, these are all things to get out of that state, like literally bring yourself into a different physical state, which automatically impacts your emotions and create a new identity for yourself that can be super, super helpful in any kind of addiction. So a little bonus point in the end. So I hope you found this video helpful, and really I wish you so much strength, like you got this, like you are more worth than anyone that can treat you like this. And if you want support, please always know you can reach out. You can also download my free ebook, The Secret Guide to Satisfying Relationships. And I also got a few really good blogs about this topic, and I'll link it all below. All right, have a really great week, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.